Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome, welcome. I know it's been quite a while since I've been live, so I thought I'd go live today instead of posting a video. I'm just going to be working today, so I thought I'd just bring you guys along. All right, gotta mute myself while I'm over here. There we go. All right, I'm still playing somewhere else. There we go. Now there should not be an echo. Hey guys, welcome everyone. Hi Baby Shower Place. Hi Nancy, yes, you're the first. Hi Maria, hi Heidi. Good morning everyone. So I'm just going to be working on orders this morning. Thought I'd bring you guys along since it's been forever since I've been live, or it feels like it's been forever. It's been a couple months. I wasn't feeling very good for a while, so now that I'm feeling better, hopefully I'll be able to do some more lives again. Hi Leslie, Elizabeth, hi Marissa. I'm feeling much, much better. Still probably not 100%, but so much better. Kind of out of that first trimester yucky feeling. So that's nice. I'm going to move you guys just a tiny little bit. Oops, the other way. There we go. That works. Hi, Debbie. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to be working on orders today. I have, let's see, I have 4 kids shirts to do and like 13 jackets left for the week. And then I have some dresses I need to put like a saying on the bottom. So I think there's 6 or 7 of those. Good morning, Spotted Bear Knits. Welcome. What is everyone else up to today? Are you guys working or just hanging out? Do I change my needle when I embroider on the jackets? I do not. I use the light ballpoint needle on everything. The only time that I change them is I did some Carhartts the other day and I forgot to change it afterwards. That I probably should have used a sharp needle on. I just used what I had. And then once I was done, I tried to embroider something else and they were dull. So I did have to switch them after that. But otherwise, I only use the light ballpoint ones that are made for the 6 and 10 needle machines, and then change them as needed. Or if I'm having issues. If it's been a couple months and I realize I haven't changed any needles in a couple months, I'll go through and change them all, but otherwise not until needed. Good morning, Barb. Morrison monogramming, working on ornaments. That's fun. Do you do like embroidered ornaments in the hoop, or what kind of ornaments do you do? Elizabeth is working. Oh no, Nancy. Trying to work, but maybe a little too much help. Good morning, Joni. All right, let's see. I don't think I have the thread colors I need anyways. I'm going to turn you guys again so you can see all machines here. This one's going to be a radiology jacket, medium pink and fuchsia. I already have fuchsia on here, but I don't have medium pink. I have light pink. Fuchsia for the monogram. Can you guys hear me okay when I'm over here? I have my microphone on, so I just want to make sure. Make sure that it's working. I tested it before and it seemed to be, but just in case. All right, thread's changed out on that one. Get it going. And then I will get these going too. Morris and monogram. You do freestanding lace ones. Ooh, interesting. That's something I've never tried. Oh no, Elizabeth, you've got your work cut out for you today. 25 dresses, one machine, 2 designs on each dress. I'm doing some that have 2 designs on each dress, but I have only like 6 or 7 that I'm doing today. And I only have to do the second design. I've already got the first one done. Liz, driving and listening. Be careful, please. Marissa, you're working today. You've been making shelf pillows and Christmas ornaments. Ooh, it's selling like crazy. Said they look like Hallmark ones. That's awesome. Leslie, good luck with those Carhartts. Those are my least favorite thing to do, by far. Like, I didn't take any for a couple years, and then I took those last ones in the last video. So I did a huge order of like 20 or 30 of them. And that's how I used the money from that and invested in all the Mighty Hoop stuff to do them. But then it's something I use the equipment for other things, but I don't like doing those jackets. That's one thing it's not my cup of tea. And to be honest, I lucked out on their logo that it was wide versus tall, because otherwise it wouldn't work on these other machines. I'd really need a more commercial machine if I was going to do a lot of those. Perfect. I'm glad you guys can hear me well. Liz, I am not always, you see me show up on Discord in sweatpants and a t-shirt and a hoodie most days, looking like I rolled out of bed. I did get dressed today. Ooh, Spotted Bear, congratulations. You ordered your Ricoma last week. Which one did you get? Oh, Leslie, strictly for a grandson, so we shall see. Okay. They stress me out. Those Carhartt jackets stress me out. Because they're expensive. Like, if I was to mess up something, I mean, I know a lot of people have sign, a waiver, like you're not responsible, but at the same time, I would feel terrible if something happened to it. Jackets that they're supplying. You're a newbie, so the EM1010. So it'll be very similar to like these 10 needles then. I mean, I know they function a little bit differently, but size-wise. This is OT stethoscope. Blue and white. Hi, Ashley. Welcome. Maritza, you're trying to find your place in the embroidery world so you can start 2022 off with a bang. Still new to the embroidery business. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to find, one, something that sells, and two, something that you actually enjoy doing. And there's a market for. So. Oh, I'm glad that organizer works, Nancy. Nancy picked up an organizer that's kind of similar to mine, except hers has a drawer beneath it, which I've seen ones like that before, but this works. I love this thing. I put my pre-cut stabilizer in the back. These are like the bags that I've taken the dresses and shirts out of, the fabric that I use almost all the time, and then just some other random pins, extra scissors, stuff like that in the front ones. If I ever get my thank you cards designed and printed, I plan on putting those there for shipping and stuff like that too. Just haven't got around to it. You know, I said I was going to do that like 6 months ago. Those are ready. Get a shirt started. Three T1 is, I'm going to bring these over here with me. So the 3T1's a sports shirt. I'll show you how I'm hooping it. So I like poly mesh and tearaway on my shirts, like just about everything else. It's definitely a personal preference though. If I was using cutaway, I probably, like a true classic cutaway, I probably wouldn't have to use the tearaway, but with a poly mesh, I feel like I get a better hooping with having the tearaway there. See you later, Liz. Be careful. And then I just fold in half. And with that tearaway on the shirt, I can just press, like finger press the shirt, and it leaves enough of a line there that I can hoop with. Joni, do I stitch on other people's items? Not very often. Local orders, I sometimes will. But online, for online orders, I do not take them. You love it too, Ashley? Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. You get that nice soft feel, but the tearaway helps hoop, in my opinion. That's, like I said, that's my reasoning for using both. Gives kind of just a nice crisp finish, but you're left with a lot softer inside and feel of the shirt afterwards. All right. And also, Monogram Mompreneur, how are you liking your Melco? I'm interested to hear. Have you adjusted to it? This one is coral. Wait. Caitlin with a K. Got two Caitlins on here. That's confusing. And I've got three Caitlin names on here. That's interesting. And I didn't transfer the right one over. Caitlin RN and Razzle Font. Glad I caught that. I don't think I set that up. All right, I'm going to set up this name real quick because I guess I missed it. Same name set up in multiple other fonts, but not the right spelling or the right font. Razzle. So just, I know you guys can't see me right now, but I used Embrilliance, just the free version, the express version, to set up my names. And use BX fonts. I've been a long time user of Sew Up Pro, and I am one of those people that once I'm used to a certain software or way of doing things, it's kind of hard to change. So I've never made the switch to Embrilliance. I feel like I know my way around Sew Up Pro so much, you know, I'm just much more proficient at it. And I'm still learning new things. I'm not great at it, but it's just a preference, I guess. And it's cheaper. All right, got that set up. So I'm going to transfer it now over to my machine. What I do is I save them just on my computer, and then I can open up, like, I use a Windows computer. I open up Windows Explorer, go to where I saved that font. I save them in files based on the week, and then I can just literally copy and paste it on. It shows up on my computer as a USB drive, like it would if you have a USB stick. And now it's on my machine. That one's ready to go. Orange. Colors are kind of off on this one this time for some reason. They want red instead of blue. You're using it right now and you love it. It's so fast. Awesome. I'm not planning on getting another machine for a while just because I'm going to be taking so much time off next year, but I think Melco is on the top of my list. I think I finally decided that. It took me, a year to decide that, but brown and orange. I kind of came unthreaded here. So I have to change out 2 thread colors. And what I do is I just, with scissors, I cut off the thread that I'm removing. And when I put the new cone in, I tie it in a knot. I'm not very good at knotting them. I just like a simple knot 3 times. There's probably a faster way to do that. And then I just pull the thread through. Ready to go. All right. Liz, I'm actually feeling quite a bit better this week. The nausea's kind of gone. I really didn't have a lot of that anyways this time. But I was so dang tired. I could like barely get through doing anything at first. And just this week, I'm kind of feeling like I'm getting some energy back. So that's kind of what happened last time around. Once I got out of that first trimester, I actually felt great. I actually felt better pregnant than I did before I was pregnant. So fingers crossed that kind of goes the same way this time. I'm still pretty tired by the end of the day at this point. But hi, Donna from the UK. You just bought a multi-embroidery machine and you're starting out. Congratulations and good luck. Hi, Alyssa. Welcome. Let's see if I have a big enough scrap piece. This is why you keep scrap pieces, y'all. Look at that. Is that big enough? Oh. Yep. Sure is. So I thought I was going to have to heat and bond light a new piece of red fabric, but I happen to have a big enough piece in my scraps. I'm probably going to be able to use, I might have to make some brown fabric, some solid brown fabric for the football on this design, but otherwise I'm probably going to be able to use all scraps for this one. That one's done. My other ones ran out of bobbin thread. So for now, I'm just going to set these jackets aside. Sometimes I try to trim them as I go, but probably not going to be that good at multitasking while I'm talking. So. Bev, your multi-needle arrives next week. You didn't get one of the cool kid ones, though. What did you get? Any multi-needle's amazing, in my opinion. Alyssa, thank you for watching. Yes, to me, just like connecting them to the computer is so much easier than chasing down that USB stick, but to each their own. But then again, the several machines that I started with, I had to do that. They didn't have an actual like USB port. So I started with pre-owned older machines. So that may also be why I didn't have the option. I had to directly connect them to the computer. And my 6 needle, I still do. it's an older machine. It doesn't have the actual USB port. So, but as long as she's still running, I'm planning on keeping her. You got an SWF 10 needle or 12 needle. Okay, I've looked at those. My only limitation on those was the size of the stitch field. It wasn't going to be any bigger than these. So, but it's definitely nothing wrong with that for a starter, and or if you don't plan on doing anything bigger. Megan, I am working on a sports design right now. It's a number 3 birthday. And then I've got a radiology jacket going, and I need to get something else going on here. I think it's a couple, most of them are medical, so I think it's an occupational therapy going to go in there. Hi, Alejandra. Good morning. Yes, Alyssa, SWF are good quality machines. The 12 needle, the Mass 12, I've heard mixed reviews on, but the actual commercial SWF ones I've heard great things about. So I'm sure that those 12 needles are great too. It's just probably, since they're more entry level, I'm going to guess maybe it's a little bit user error, but I'm sure they'll stand behind their machines. They're great machines. Brothers are not necessarily, I mean, they're great machines. Don't get me wrong. I have absolutely nothing against them. I love all mine, but they're not always the best choice from a financial standpoint. I was lucky and able to get all of mine for really good prices. But if you pay some of those like MSRPs that I see some people posting, they are outrageous. I would not pay $16,000 to $20,000 for these. Don't do it. If you can get it for significantly less, then they're great machines, but so yeah, this is occupational therapy. Not that one. This one. I'm going to change it to white. Might actually. All right. Good morning, Sandy. Wow, Barb, that sounds honestly kind of complicated. Yeah, Lisa, that's what I'm thinking with those SWF 12 needles. I think it's a lot of just beginner user error. I expect that with any machines, so I don't think the machines themselves are bad. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Yes, I like the bouncy ball one too. It's an expensive design. I just bought the one number I needed because I'm like, if it sells, then I'll buy the rest of them. But if not, it's a one-off, then I'm not paying the full price. It was like, I'd heard of the digitizer before. I've used them. It's not something I was worried about using, but it's not like one of the ones I normally use, so their price was expensive. Yeah, Beb, I'm sure that SWF will work great for that. Yeah, and 10,000 is a lot, and you're right, a lot of these machines are even more than that. Alyssa, same. My old 6 needle, I actually had 2 of those at one point. I paid, I think, 4,000 for one and 3 for the other, or 3,500, I don't remember. And that was a long time ago. I bought the first one in 2012. And the second one, I think about a year and a half later. And then these, I traded one of the old 6 needles in for that 10 needle. It was a floor model machine, so I got a good price, plus had my trade-in. And they almost paid me for my trade-in on one of these old machines when I paid for it. And then this machine here is my newest. And it was used with 36 hours on it. 36 hours. So I got that one for even less than the floor model. So, I mean, yeah, lot cheaper than those prices I see people pay. I don't know that I could bring myself to pay that for them. I mean, they are good machines, but they're probably not worth 60 to 20,000. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Facebook Marketplace ones. I always like to finance them. Even if I could pay cash, I go ahead and do the 0% financing through Brother usually. And you can usually do that on the used machines even. Sometimes you have to pay a financing fee, but you can roll that into the cost. And it still ends up being better. Alyssa, my dealer, how many hours are on the 6 needle? My dealer said it's getting close to the most he's ever seen on one. So, and he probably doesn't see as many as like some people. Let me see. 5,394 hours. 5,300. Like I said, last time I had it in, and that was like 2 or 2.5 years ago, he said it was nearing the most he'd ever seen. So I'm sure it has at this point. Yeah, Ashley, I feel like those prices have went skyrocketed. And then the other thing is Brother dealers can set their own prices. So you see such a huge range of prices. But I feel like it's the dealers in areas that sell more volume. I'm going to guess, just a guess, that they can negotiate a better price with Brother themselves, or Baby Law, I guess is same thing. And they're able to offer a lower price because like around here, the dealer that I use is actually 100 miles away from me. And I feel like he does actual multi-needles. He sells multi-needles, whereas the local Baby Lock dealer that's like 30 minutes from me, they don't sell them. I mean, they have a 10-needle floor model, but they wanted 16,000 for the floor model. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you for the information. And I'm like, not buying it. Like, that's insane. I didn't tell him that, but I was thinking it. I'm like, yeah, no, not on my list anymore. Sorry. There's some brown fabric. And what do I do with that piece of white? There it is. Yeah, take care of them. Those old 6 needles run forever, I feel like. It's like the biggest problem you have is if the screen goes out or like the computer parts because they're getting hard to find the parts for them. But I've never had an issue finding the parts for mine. I've only had to have very, very few minor things done to it over the years. So maybe I've lucked out. Hopefully there's not a parts shortage. So if and when it happens. At this point, that machine owes me nothing. So I definitely want to keep it up and going, but I don't know how much money I'd be willing to spend to keep it going at this point. I have considered a buy, but I hesitate at ones like that do not have a long track record. And just from long-term support, long-term parts availability, actual support, you know, learning the machine, stuff like that. Because I mean, I even for me, it'd be a big adjustment going to a commercial machine. I know they're not as user-friendly as these. And the other thing I've been looking at with machines is, you know, if and when at some point I would want to trade it in or get out of the business or whatever, what machine could I sell? And I don't know that some of those no-name ones fit that. So that worries me. Yes, they did open a warehouse in Texas. The price is definitely amazing compared to others, but I also feel like you get a little bit of what you pay for. If you're willing to put in the work and learn it yourself and do all your own fixing and maintenance, it's probably a great thing, but I'm maybe not that technical. I'm fine with doing maintenance, especially if I'm walked through stuff. I'm fine with doing minor repairs, but I need to have something I know I can call a tech if and when something major would happen. And I'm not sure I would be able to with those, especially in the remote location I am. The biggest worry is learning the software. Software definitely has a big learning curve too. Hi, Robin. Glad you got to catch us live. Alyssa, that's great you were able to do that payout right for him. My first one, I was definitely not able to financially because I was just getting started. Honestly, these two I probably could have, but I chose to finance them and then pay them off within 12 months. So that way I had basically the cash on hand if I would need it for something else. Fritzy, Phi is very similar to Bracoma. Yeah, that's also the other thing I've heard. I know a lot of those machines end up looking a lot alike once you get down to the parts and interior workings of the machines. So this is the sports shirt I'm working on. I normally do this in navy, but they asked for the number to be in red. Stop that one. This is going to be Liz. Liz. Hi, Pauline. Good morning. Yeah, Sandy, they are just so expensive. Alyssa, technically I take them to be serviced, although they are way, way, way overdue. I take them to the dealer that I've bought 2 out of 3 at, but that, like I said, that one's 100 miles away from me, so I let the Baby Loft dealer service my 6-needle once, and he did fine with it. He admitted he hadn't done it before, and that he would have to, you know, reference stuff and all that. And since it was just a plain servicing, I was okay with that, but it kind of makes me nervous. So I like taking them back to the dealer I bought them at. They have not been serviced in 3 years. It is actually 3 years now. Oh my goodness. 3 years ago, October, I took them in, and then I bought the 3rd one after that. I have serviced that one since. I don't remember. Maybe it's not been that long. I had planned on, when my daughter was born, March of 2020, I had planned on taking them in while I was on maternity leave, so that way I wouldn't, you know, have them down when I wasn't working anyways. But then everything shut down, and I couldn't take them in. And it took them like months after that. They didn't even take machines in for servicing until like July. And of course, I was back to work by then. So hopefully this time around with maternity leave, I'll be able to get them in. So that's next May. Hopefully they'll be able to service them next May or June. I don't foresee myself getting them in before then. With it being so far away, it's not like I want to take just one and then, you know, at one at a time. It's like, no, either all 3 are going or at least 2 at one time. Yeah, my machines aren't on warranty anyways. I do some of it, probably more than I should myself. I also replace certain parts myself. That would probably, my dealer would probably frown upon if he knew, but we're just not going to tell him that. Thank you, Liz. Liz, thank you. You know what? I can switch this one over to here. So the next one's ready. The other one's going to go on there too. So for the most part, I always get asked, do you eyeball it? Pretty much. I do. So I look at my arms on women's items, especially. I go about halfway, and then I go down from the shoulder seam, and that's usually about 6 inches down. And then these are just happen to be 6 inches, so I kind of always grab one of these to measure, and that's almost exactly 6 inches, maybe 6 1/4. That's my preferred location. Alyssa, that's probably a good idea. Last time I had them serviced, I actually, that's kind of the same situation. It would take 2 weeks. You know, you take them, you drop them off, blah, blah, blah. I actually asked him to do me a favor and schedule me a day when he was going to be there. That guy that actually owns the place and services them. And so that way I could just drive them up in the morning. I spend all day like shopping because it's in a bigger city town than what I'm used to. Spend all day shopping and then pick them up at the end of the day. In the afternoon, they just called me when they're done and I picked them up. And that works out well. So, I mean, that would be my ideal situation, is to schedule an appointment if he'd be willing to do that again, but I don't know. Oh, I don't think I set that one up right. Did I? No, I did. Okay, good. Gray stethoscope with black text. Leslie. Yeah. I'm so used to hooping on these mighty, or not the mighty hoops, the fast screens. It does go pretty fast. And I'll be honest, jackets are easier to hoop too. It's like zip up jackets because you have that zipper, you know, as your line to line it up on. So they go pretty fast. That one's started. The next one's ready. And I've got a bunch of these. That's no bueno. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to switch thread colors. I've got a bunch that need done. Thank you, Liz. We'll just switch thread colors out on this one. So for the most part, I try to just put, like, I have multiple that are going to use the colors that are already on this machine. So for the most part, I try to just set them over there, but like the next 5 are all the same color, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch out thread colors on the machine. It is Haley. Not that one. That one. Okay. Pink, and I need light blue. Darn one's not tying right. Alright, that one's ready to go. So the next several are all these like labor and delivery footprint ones. So medium, black, and gray. Like I said, y'all, fast frames are, at least for me, are a life changer. And then also just having my workspace right here set up so I have everything very quickly within reach that I would need helps significantly with hooping speed too. You're fast framing now? Do you like them? Honestly, I think they're so much easier. Like, I love Mighty Hoops. Don't get me wrong. They have their place. I even like jerky hoops, but fast frame, especially for jackets and baby onesies or bodysuits, 100% my favorite. Are there anyone else here from the UK, or are we all from the US? I know a lot of these ladies are specifically from the US, but I do have some followers who are from the UK. I don't recognize their names on here right now, or I don't see their names on here right now, at least chatting. Love, love, love fast frames. Oh, fast frames are what you learned on. Okay. Yes, they're, like I said, my favorite. Some people are so hesitant to try them, but love them. The next one is, I put those over here. I'm gonna switch these up. I'm gonna do a girl shirt next. Yeah. No, Donna, you're fine. Like I said, there's several people that are usually on. They must not have caught the live today. So you're not the only one. Maybe just today, but is this a short sleeve or is this a long sleeve? It's supposed to be long sleeve. Just gonna put that right back in there. Cheryl, what size fast frames do you usually use for names on kids' clothes? So I usually use a 7x7 fast frame on most like infant size items. Like bodysuits and stuff like that. Now, newborn and 0 to 3 month, I'll a lot of times use these 6x6 ones like I'm using for the jackets. They just fit a little bit better. If I'm just doing a name, you might be able to get by with something a little smaller, depending. But I find the 7x7 fits in most items and gives you like the biggest possible stitch area for the size of the garment. Now with fast frames, you lose about a ½ inch of the size it says on there. So if you have like a 7x7 fast frame, excuse me, I don't like to push it past like 6 1/3 inch. You can probably get by with up to like 6 1/2, but I don't like cutting it close. Yes, April is correct. Kim's channel, she is in the UK. She's often here, and there's a couple others. Like I said, I'm not seeing their names here today, but Leslie, after watching you, I am getting there on the fast frame, on your fast frames. Marissa, you have the easy frames. Yep, those are the Durkee easy frames are honestly about the same thing. I've heard that they're a little bit like thicker, sturdier, but honestly, I've had the fast frames longer than the Durkee frames have been out. So since I already have the arms and so many of the hoops, I'm sticking with my fast frames. That's the only reason, honestly. Oh, Liz, watch out. Walmart without the kids. That's dangerous. Yes, magnetic hoops, they are awesome too. I do also keep the 8x8 fast frames for like those in between size where this, 6-inch design doesn't look quite big enough, but they also don't fit in the mighty hoop. So like that 18-month 2T. I like using the 8x8 frame. That'll give you about a 7x7-inch design. Or I like one traditional hoop that I really like is the Durkee hoops. These are, what do they call them? 24 centimeter by 24 centimeter. So it's about it's kind of similar to the 9x9, but it's not quite as wide. So it actually fits in those kind of in-between sizes a little bit better. The only bad thing is it's got rounded corners versus the more square corners that the mighty hoops have. Oh, Marissa, I didn't realize they had the 2 knobs. Yeah, that'd probably be another difference. Like I said, functionality, they're probably about the same. If people are looking to get one or the other, I mean, I don't know if there's a huge benefit of one over the other. Like I said, I've had fast frames for since I got a multi-needle back in 2012, and Durkee easy frames were not a thing back then. So, all right. Let me get my iron warmed up. Got enough of that. Hi, Becky. Welcome. Thank you very much. We're very excited. Yeah, that's what I've heard. There's kind of fewer options there. Warming up. I need trying to get out the fabrics I would need today. Need more white for my unicorn. The last time I got Heat and Bond Light, the price for the bolt that I normally get was outrageous. So I bought the box that's on like a roll. Has over 100, well, started out with over 100 yards. 75 yards, my bad. It was still like price per yard. It was still cheaper to do this than buy the bolt at the time. I had tried to wait it out, but I was getting desperate. Oh, I came unthreaded. Alyssa, I'm not sure. I've heard some people say they don't bounce as much because of the weight, but I never thought about the difference in the knobs. I mean, maybe. I personally don't really have much of a problem with bouncing, so, but I know that's one of the biggest complaints from a lot of people with fast frames. I think it's a combination of what I hoop, like with the jackets, and then if I am doing something like a onesie or something that doesn't have much weight, if you clip something here to the front of it, not very heavy, just like a half a yard of fabric, it stops that bouncing. Oh, okay. Because you bought the Persona before the SWF 12, you were told to get the easy frame. Yeah, once you have one, I'd stick with them. I don't know that there's a benefit. Do not get up here. No. My cat's in my office and he's not supposed to be. Don't do it. All right. He's going to be removed. No, sir. Sorry. I didn't want to get cat hair on me while I'm working. Or on anything else in here. He's not supposed to be in here, really. Get out of here, buddy. No, sir. No. I'm going to take him outside, y'all. All right. I'm back. Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely get bounced with those. He is very determined. He wanted attention is what he wanted. That or outside. I mean, they're in. No, he wants in. He wants attention. He wants me to sit down and he wants on my lap. He is so fluffy. He's outside in timeout right now. They are indoor-outdoor cats since we live like all. I don't want to say we live on a farm, but we live out in the country. We have outdoor cats for rodent control. We don't have a problem, but they keep it in check if they're ever leave. Yeah, he wants to be on video. He honestly, I let him in here like to sit on my lap if I'm sitting on my desk. So then he thinks he can come in here all the time, and I don't like them in here because I don't want hair on anything. And I don't like picking them up or, you know, messing with them when I'm working because I don't want to get it on the clothes. And I could have probably shut my door, but I have stuff in the way, so. I didn't want to have to move boxes. And it echoes so much more when I close my door in here. And with 3 machines, it gets plenty loud enough as is. All right, so those will both be ready for the names. That one's ready. All right, making some progress, at least on the jackets. Yes, they always want attention. If the dog comes in here, it's not so bad. Like, I don't really care to have him in here either, but he like lays, he'll like walk around or he'll just lay by my chair or at my desk. But the cat, he's a little bit more persistent. And while he doesn't get, it's weird because he does not, none of them get on like our tables or countertops like in our kitchen. He will down here. So he's done. He's outside now. Your dog always tries to herd you to the recliner when you're working. Yep. That's pretty much what they're trying to do. He wanted me to either go sit at my desk, he'd crawl up in my lap, or go sit on the couch in the other room so he could lay with me. but not today. 10:40. All right. Got a little bit longer. I'll probably have to get off around 11 or a little after to go have lunch. All right, so that one's all finished. So the sports design. Probably might get through these jackets, but I'm not going to get through all my shirts today. Maybe not all on live either, but at least get them done. All of these don't have to ship until tomorrow. They don't have expected ship dates until tomorrow. So not a super rush to get most of these done. I just want to while I have someone to watch my little girl. We need that. We need light pink, purple, and light yellow. Not tie. Oh no, I lost my purple thread. So, you know, like the things that hold the spindles that hold your thread on, 2 of mine are broken. So my thread just fell off. It's not tied on yet. I don't know if I can get it either. Not from that direction. I'm gonna have to get behind the machine. Probably have to move the machine out of the way. And the other purple's on a different machine. I don't want to have to take it off. So, and I'm gonna need it anyways. Seriously, it lodged itself in like the worst location. But isn't that how that goes? Grab my scissors. I don't know. What's the best way to get this? There we go. Got it. Found a little bit of dust with it. All right, let's try this again. I won't say that's the first time I've done that. There's just enough of a gap there between the edge of the cart and the countertop that these can fall. It's not like a flush. It's curved. All right, let's push this back carefully. All right, that's good. Yeah, that looks good. That one done. There we go. All right. Alyssa, yes. Oh, well, mine's not a lap pup. He's an 80-pound lab, a black lab, but he thinks he's a lap pup. And then, of course, the cat, you saw, he definitely thinks he's a lap cat. Marissa, does anyone run a sale on Madeira thread during the holidays? It seems the more I buy, the more colors you need. That's definitely true. I don't know. I've honestly not seen thread go on, at least Madeira thread go on sale. Not to say it won't or can't, but I've not seen it. This is an interesting contraption. So, my machine has messed itself up. I have never seen this happen before. So the thread from the color next to it got like almost like sucked in and down through. That's a first. That's a first for me. And boy, is it a tangled mess now. Oh my goodness. Well, y'all don't even want to see this mess. Trust me. Never had this happen before. We're just going to take it apart. The nice part about being confident in taking things apart yourself is that you can fix stuff like this easily. All right, there's that. While we got that off, we're just going to clean it. So this is the tension disc that your thread runs itself through. Some of the dust up here around it off of here too while I'm at it. Like, I've never had this happen before. How did that even happen? How? The cat never even got up there. All right, I'm just gonna have to tie this off and totally restart read over on these two. Stress, stress, stress. Like the two neighboring threads got tangled and tied together. Never had that happen before. Right, let's get this one reassembled. I said, might as well dust them while I have them off, right? Thankfully on this part of it, dust is just an eyesore and not. Now there are parts that you need to keep dusted and lint and dust out of. Other parts is just cosmetic. All right. So let's rethread that. Sorry I have my back to y'all. I can't read your comments right now. Just trying to get this rethreaded. All right, there's that. Let's manually cut the thread and pull that through and rethread the needle. And I have to totally rethread the black too from start. Again, while I'm here, I'm gonna, these little tension discs, I'm gonna clean out. There's no thread in them. All right. So honestly, threading these looks more intimidating than it is. It's just a lot of steps and little spots to get the thread through, but otherwise it's really not that hard. These are not hard to thread. And then there's a little thing you can use to hold on to the thread and push it behind the pin. But what I found is if you just pull down on the needle bar, I can just do that with my finger 5 times faster than trying to locate that thing, little tool every time. So it's like mine, it goes MIA. Even though it has a very specific spot I keep it in, it still goes MIA. All right, that's fixed. Make sure it starts off right. Good. All right. See you later, Lil. Or, geez, Liz. I read that you were going shopping for Lily's birthday. You ordered directly from Madeira too, and it is so fast with them, in my opinion. Back in business, Nancy. Good job. Yeah, Marissa, I found All Stitch to be just as cheap as well, I guess, unless you somehow qualify for a bigger discount or you get cheaper shipping through them. It's the only thing I can think of. I've had better luck with All Stitch, and I order other stuff through All Stitch too. I've not completely made the switch over to Madeira though. I have some other brands I like, so kind of mix and match my thread. Opacity. Okay. White. It's done. Mark another one off my list. Yeah, I've tried Glide. I don't use it regularly. See you later, Donna. Marissa, I use Madeira for a couple colors. That's actually the newest brand to me. I didn't start using it until I kind of heard everyone else. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Nothing wrong with it, nothing against it. I just kind of settled in my ways on the other brands. I use KingStar is probably my favorite, but it used to be cheaper than a lot of the other brands, and now it's more expensive. So I don't love it for that. I used to use what's called Sigma, but they and Metro Embroidery used to carry them. They discontinued those a couple years back, I think. But I just happened to find that Exquisite brand of thread is exactly the same. Like same colors, same color numbers, the whole bit. So I do use Exquisite now. It's a little bit more expensive, but not a lot compared to what I was paying. That's still cheaper than Madeira. And then the new, what is it? MetroPro, I actually really like too. And it's a lot cheaper. I find that KingStar has the best like shine. It's a lot shinier in most of the shades than Madeira. Bye. See you later. Angelina, I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm like right at the end of the first trimester, beginning of the second, so I'm actually starting to feel pretty good. Not sick. Thankfully, I don't get very sick compared to some people. Certainly didn't feel well, but I don't get super sick, thankfully. Fatigue's probably and acid reflux are the worst for me. But I'm actually starting to get some energy back, feel better, so getting a little easier. And then until the very end, I actually should feel pretty good if it goes like my last pregnancy. Barb, Floriani is also kind of has that brighter shine to it than Madeira. Yes, they do. I have a handful of things in Floriani just because that's what my dealer, one of the local dealers used to carry that I used to go into. See you later, Alejandra. Thanks for catching the live. I'm probably going to wrap things up here in a couple minutes too. I've gotten through a good portion of my list, other than the kids' shirts, which I knew I wouldn't get through those, only running one machine. So there's that one, the unicorn design that I used to stitch tons of. I still get an order for it here and there nowadays, so it's fine by me. It takes like 50 minutes to stitch out, depending on the name and the number. So for fabrics that I use a lot of, like I actually heat and bonded an entire strip of this in the size that I need. And then I just trim off kind of the straggly pieces, and I set, so that way I'll have it on hand for next time I have this design or an order for this design. I only do that with things though that I know I use frequently and have lots of orders for. That jacket, the hoodie is Robin. Robin. Sure the font's correct. Yes. Done. So I reuse my fast frames, like especially the ones for the names, until not much tearaway left, and then I'll replace it. Now for the ones for the left chest design, I replace it every time, but for the names, I kind of reuse it until it needs replaced. It was at that point. All right, guys. So I've got this one going. I've got names finishing on these last three. I've got, let's see. After this, I'll only have 6 more jackets to go, and a couple of those are names only. So, and then I have 2 kids shirts, and then the bottoms of those 6 dresses. So, and it's 11 a.m. So not too bad. I can probably get the rest of it finished this afternoon if I work all afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go so I can go grab some lunch with my family. And then there probably will not be a video tomorrow since I went live today, but I will have a new one for you guys next week. So I'll see you guys later.